Born in Côte d'Ivoire to a French father and a Malian mother, he led the Mali of Eagles to beat Nigeria for the first time in 50 years, sometimes last year. He's 47 years old and his name is Eric Sekou Chelle. He's the new manager of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We have a lot of exciting things to look forward to seeing in 2025 as football started off on a good note. Well, the coming days will tell. My name is Rotimi Akinele. Welcome to the Sports Hub on NigezieXtreme. Always a pleasure to be here. And I've got the privilege to have my two good guys. One prop and one is Joseph Faulkner. Hey, Joseph Faulkner.
Rosimi, they will not skip
sorry.
you.
Okay.
They will not skip you. Not this year.
Sorry, Femi is here, guys.
They will not skip you this year.
I'm sorry.
Is that how they pronounce the man's name? Is that what they told you? Who told you?
A Frenchman told me it's Chelle.
It's Chelle.
Yeah,
Chelle.
It's Chelle. We said Chelle. A Frenchman said it's Chelle. I said, okay. I can't argue now.
So that's
Are you French?
Is that where the father is from? Is that
yeah,
the
he's
village?
French. Yeah, he's French. It's not village. That's his name.
Village. That's how they pronounce the name.
Why did they pronounce the name?
I'll wait for you people in front.
No problem.
But really, I don't know why you want to put me in a very terrible mood from the start
be
of the
happy
show.
now.
Be happy that what?
Just be happy for yourself.
So we're going to talk about.
Now the NFL said they'll do something. They did it.
We're going. Did what?
They said
You
they will
see?
employ a coach in January and they did it.
It would have been better if they didn't.
Actually,
You
So
don't.
we're going to talk about it, but there's no excitement coming from the football angle for me. You know what? Australian Open is starting tomorrow, guys. And if you're a tennis lover like me, you'll be very excited. There's a lot riding on this
who are
Australian
you
Open.
supporting? You're not supporting our guy. You're not supporting our guy.
In due course, I will reveal.
Oh, wow, that's secret now.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm surprised that he's even talking about Australian Open when I thought he would have talking about the CAF Confederation Cup.
Why?
A seasoned campaigner started showing his work.
But that was no story. We knew he was going to do it.
So you know he's the right man.
We knew. See, at this point,
It's just 3-4 games into the job. So
It doesn't matter.
no, it's 2 games into the job.
I think he said he's played 3 games.
No, it's 2 games.
Who played the first draw?
Ide has played 3 games. But
Is he referring to
No,
Ide
no, no,
or
No, he's
Stanley
talking
Kuma?
about Stanley has played 2 games and he's won both.
Exactly,
Really?
season
Yeah.
campaigner.
Okay.
Ide didn't get his debut under
Work permit.
Eguma. No, under Eguma. He got a game before Eguma took over.
Oh, okay.
But they had already announced Eguma.
Yeah.
And that was the game they played a draw.
Yeah.
You know, one of the scheduled games. But Eguma has played 2, is 1-2. You know, and it's not just a day that is doing well in the team.
What's the year? Season campaigner.
Okay.
You know, but it's good we're even starting from that point on. And I thought you'll start by, you know,
I'm going to do that. When we gave
by
Femi
celebrating
the kudos last
celebrating a
weekend.
man who knows what he's talking about.
When we gave Femi the kudos last weekend, I mean, it started from here. So it's only fair that, we promised you guys about the leaderboard and it's going to pop up very, very soon.
Episode 10.
So Joseph Faulkner made 4 predictions last week and got all 4 correctly. And that's brilliant.
Once, normally.
Coming for Joseph Faulkner.
One off.
Femi is upset. I don't know why.
So the thing
I'm upset because Man United were just dead.
So the thing about predictions, and you need to first of all understand the game.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Understand the game. You need to be able to
Now you're
put
sounding
together.
like Femi now.
You need to be able to put together facts, factors, and situations.
It really hurts.
Put them together
It hurts.
and then make a very. You are not consulting any chi or anybody. You are making.
You're not giving
informed-
credit to your chi.
No.
You mentioned it
Chi
last
had
week.
nothing to do with this one.
Woo.
I made my chi was telling me to follow Ipoli and shout Liverpool win. Remember what I said? There's a rivalry there that has been on for so many years.
Definitely.
Right? And these games over time have proven pundits wrong. Because sometimes form goes out of the window in these games, in this tie. And that was exactly what we saw. All of a sudden, the Manchester United side have not won in the last 4. I've been conceding goals for fun. Did I say I've not won? They've lost their last 4 or 5 games, conceding goals for fun. All of a sudden, Maguire looks like prime Maldini, blocking everything that was thrown into that box. I was particular because when the manager eventually gets the right fit in terms of playing personnel, you can see what he wants to do. And that day, United didn't sit back.
No.
United created more chances than Liverpool. In the first 45 minutes, United could have actually gone like 3 goals up. in the first 45 minutes of the game. United saw a lot more of the ball. Liverpool actually in the last 10-15 minutes now saw a lot more of the ball than United. But United looked like they could win that game. You know, and it's something we've not seen, and it's something we've not seen about them in a long time. You know, and that tells you that with time, this manager can put together a side that will trouble any other team.
Okay, so that's it for Liverpool United. Kudos to Amorim. That game ended 2-2, in case you're wondering. But Femi, Tottenham, Newcastle, like you said last week, though, Newcastle, the informed team going into that game, they did what they had to do.
You know, and they did it well. And why I say well was Spurs have loads of injury concerns, many. And Spurs, the run of play took the lead. Dominic Solanke got the goal for them. And like they always say, the worst time to concede a goal is immediately after you score.
Yeah.
Now, there are loads of controversies in the equalizing goal because there's a question of a handball. Was it there? I thought it was a handball. That's my opinion.
It was a handball.
I thought it was a handball. I thought that if that hand was not there, that goal would not have happened. Exactly. The ball would have passed. But like I said, back and forth. But what Newcastle did were be consistent what they do. And we've seen that time and time again.
Yeah. They repeated it in the midweek against Arsenal again. Yes. You know, repeated it.
That must have hurt
the same consistency. That was very hurtful. That because it looked like there was nothing Arsenal could do or they did to challenge them. But against Tottenham Hotspur, you know, Spurs will leave rooms for you to run.
Oh, yes.
You know, and it's something that the manager, Postecoglou, needs to address. He needs to fix it.
Yeah.
And you can't just keep running gongo, especially when you don't have the full complement of your first choice defenders. Your first choice goalkeeper is not there. Your first choice centre back pairing, you know, are out. So why are you leaving all those spaces, you know, for your opponents to run? And for a team like Newcastle United that have runners, Isak will never stay in the middle.
No.
Yeah.
He keeps going to the wings and he keeps running at you. Anthony Gordon is having the time of his life. He's playing good football. He's showing up in spaces in and around the 6-yard box, not even the 18-yard box, the 6-yard box. You know, so you have these guys that you know they're going to run at you. And then you still give them the space to run.
I also feel, just to add to what you said, and there'll be what you mentioned of Jacob Murphy, but I think those three guys in midfield, what they have done is they run at any team. They'll run down there. Even when you watch them play against Liverpool, against every other top team, they run that midfield, Joelinton, Tonali, and Guimaraes. They will run you down. And they will ensure that, you know what, they're giving those front three the opportunity to run into space.
And exactly how they beat Arsenal. Dominate the midfield.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't give them time and space on the ball. Don't allow them their smooth. So you dictate, you know, the pace of the game. And that's what Tonali he has become massive for Newcastle. He's a baller. His intelligence, and it's not just when he's in possession. When he's not with the ball.
And when he wants to win the ball.
You know, when he's not with the ball, the way he runs into spaces is reading the mind of whoever is on the ball as he's running to you, is anticipating your pass. So a lot of times we've seen him, you know, intercept passes. It's because he's thinking. He's running. He's looked at, okay, maybe Bruno or Joelinton have already blocked some other channels. And he's thinking that instead of just running behind the player, that space that he might likely look at and he might likely put the ball there is gone there.
Yeah.
You know, and so that has worked for them. So like you pointed out, Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Jacob Murphy,
Joelinton,
and then
the
you
Brazilian,
see Anthony Gordon and the rest of them up front, the way they play. They've been absolutely fantastic. So beating Spurs wasn't a surprise.
Beating Spurs wasn't a surprise.
The only surprise was you thinking Spurs would get a draw.
Well, beating Arsenal wasn't a surprise. That same Spurs we talked about also defeated Liverpool. I don't know.
Before we get to
that, they probably changed all their stuff.
This weekend?
What were you thinking? Let's move on. Nothing. It's prediction. It's football. It's just like biscuit. You never can tell where you could crack. That's it.
In your mind, it's really like this.
You know when biscuits will crack.
Napoli.
When you press it somewhere,
it will crack.
Napoli. Did you crack left, right, up, down?
Now you go put the pressure.
Exactly. So don't worry. Napoli found it easy against Fiorentina.
What did you predict
3-0
game?
Draw.
I predicted a draw.
What were you thinking?
Nothing.
When the wise men on this side, man, maybe you need to come on this couch.
The wise men are now on this side.
That's on this side.
No problem.
Always tell you support the winning party. Learn to copy.
Which of the parties now?
This side.
Which of the
this
parties?
guy's on this side. If you notice
you
now,
guys have a party.
I'm consistent.
Okay.
Right?
With what?
I'm considering my prediction. The week before, I was up. Please,
So
I'm not
the
saying
two
it.
guys
Perfection, I beg.
won 3-0. Napoli won 3-0 away from home. Pogba got it
Lukaku.
right. Femi got it right.
I said something last week when we were previewing that game.
Yeah.
And it's something that Napoli have not been given a lot of credit for. But it's something that Antonio Conte's sides over the years have done well. They defend well.
I thought you were going to say Scott McTominay scores goals.
No, but McTominay
McTominay
is having fun. He's having
fun at
fun.
Napoli.
He's enjoying the form
He's
of his life.
useful
And,
now.
oh yeah,
He's having fun.
He's having a
player.
good time. He's having a good
He has
time.
always been a decent player. Who said he's a bad player?
No, but he's having a good time in Italy. I was very happy for him when he left United. You know, because I felt bad for him and Fred back then that they were a lot
Allowed
of
to leave just like that.
They were much maligned.
Yes.
They were used as scapegoats.
Yes.
Especially when you watch United play and you realize that Pastor Fred was doing a lot of dirty work that was going on.
Preaching the gospel in midfield.
You know, but a lot of, and you know, and that's the thing about the fan base everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
We're too emotional.
Yeah.
We don't watch football with statistics or with
Exactly.
facts. We're emotional. You know, but McTominay is doing well at Napoli.
Very
Kudos
well.
to Conte for
Conte,
taking him,
yeah, definitely.
for having him there. But then, you know, I put out a stat last week about how Conte enjoys playing against Fiorentina.
And how he enjoys winning against them as well.
Fiorentina, and that happened. You know, even though Fiorentina scored a goal that was disallowed, there was a hint of handball in the build-up to the goal. But the game itself, it was what was the name? Napoli were in total control.
One-sided.
They had more of the possession. They had more touches more shots in Fiorentina's box. I think they had more than double the shots in Fiorentina's box that Fiorentina had in their own box. You know, so it just tells you the story of the game itself. You know, Napoli, kudos to them. They did what they needed to do, score 3 goals, and the rest is history.
All right, definitely. The
So
rest
that battle
is
at the
easy.
top of the Serie A, that's some interesting battle.
Still interesting battle. The other two were far away from home, so they didn't play
Yeah, they were in the Italian
league
Super
games.
Cup.
Yeah, of course, they didn't play their league games in Italy. I'm sure they'll probably play catch up and all that. The final game, maybe we don't have to talk about that. We
will talk about it.
We'll talk about it when we want to preview the Enyimba Al-Masri game.
Yeah.
But Enyimba, comfortable winners over Black Bulls of Mozambique. I was pretty upset that Enyimba even lost 3-0 in the first leg or in the first game against this side. Because I thought it was a side that Enyimba should beat convincingly. But then they responded.
It was even a game that the game itself,
Yeah.
Enyimba were very, very...
I mean, they got off to a good start.
First
got
half,
a goal.
First half alone, Enyimba should have scored
There
about
have
3
been like
goals.
4 goals up.
They
and
were
all
so
that. Yeah.
profligate in front of goal that
How they allowed that?
And then they allowed that
What?
equalizer. And I'm like, okay,
What?
you guys will be all right. But
I've noticed something in this conversation. Rotimi, you're speaking a lot about this. That means you predicted Enyimba to win, right?
no, we...
like I said, I said it earlier. We all got
That's
this
right,
one.
that's right.
Enyimba
That's why you're
won
talking this one
4-1.
now. The one I-
But then we'll talk more about Enyimba when we're preparing the game against Al-Masri. Hopefully, they replicate this same kind of performance and score goals against the side coming from Egypt. We'll go for a very first break. And when we come back, we will be talking about the new man from France, who is now in charge of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Stick around.
Which it was by Malcolm Brogdon. How did
From the line, good reaction time for George Russell.
So his assignment is very clear. Starting from March 2025, try to revive Nigeria's World Cup 2026 chances by qualifying the country to the next World Cup in 2026. Starting with the away game against Rwanda and then a home game against Zimbabwe. Winnable games, right? Yeah, well, fingers crossed. Played 22 games for Mali, won 14, as it were, drew 5 and lost 3. This is the new man in charge of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I'll leave it to the guys to have the discussion. Eric Sekou Chelle, or Chelle, or Chelle, whichever one you want to pick.
Okay.
He's the new man in charge of Nigeria. Femi, let me start with you. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a good plan that the NFF said they would do something and did it at the time they said they would do it, which was January. I think that number one, the options that we had, and there are always coaches outside.
Yeah.
Foreign, Caucasian, homegrown, anyone you want, they're always options. For them to have gone for this man, he must have passed an interview that convinced the technical committee.
What interview?
And are you saying he just handed the job to him?
What interview?
He did an interview. And just like
wait now, fuck that.
just like Rotimi
Wait,
said,
fuck that.
it's not an indictment.
Whoever interviewed him.
No indictment. Because what Rotimi just mentioned now, for a man who handled over 20 games
And
won
as
a
a
larger
record of being
percentage.
sacked everywhere.
Sacked everywhere.
Every coach,
Every
but that's the rule of coaches.
Not
Every
all
coach
coaches
will
get
be
sacked
sacked.
everywhere.
What do you
Coaches are either waiting to be fired or they are fired.
Yeah.
By who?
Will you dare sack him? He ran his contract to the end and left.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Or they just...
He left after 1994 World Cup. He didn't renew. He didn't bother coming back to renew his contract. The contract ended with the 1994 World Cup and he left.
That story is...
We were begging him.
That
We were begging him to come back. The presidency wanted him to come back.
That was 94.
He said no. 1996, Bonfrey Joe. Immediately he won the whatever. He walked.
That was 94.
This story is told you.
Let me tell you. No, hold on.
Wait, I'm the anchor.
No,
wait, I'm the anchor.
Are you a boot?
Wait, we are not discussing.
When you want to employ somebody,
Femi was going somewhere.
Femi will not go anywhere. He stay here. If you want to go far, you will hear this. And I'm putting it to both of you.
Put it. Let's hear
When
you.
you want to employ somebody, what do you do?
You look through the person's CV.
Okay. Why do you look through people's CV?
Because you want to know what plan the person has.
Or what they have done in the past, or their antecedents.
Yes.
So if you are planning to employ an accountant who understands or who knows how to audit accounts, what do you look for? Do you look for a bookkeeper, a cashier, or someone who has an experience with auditing?
So link this to Eric Chelle.
Answer my question. I'm
not an accountant.
When you want to employ,
someone that has, yes, auditing.
So we want to go to the World Cup.
Yes.
We want to qualify.
Yeah. When you qualify, what are you doing? You are going to the World Cup.
Okay. Not necessarily.
Now, are you... Oh, so when you qualify, you will not go to the World Cup. So you want to qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And you are now bringing somebody who doesn't know the first thing about qualifying for the World Cup. Has he qualified anybody for the World Cup?
No.
The biggest job he's ever done in his life was the Mali job.
Agreed.
That's the biggest job he's ever done.
Agreed.
But
I'm trying to understand the line of...
Yeah, the biggest job he's ever done is the Mali job, right? He got to the quarterfinals. From a winning position, he lost the job.
To which team?
To Côte d'Ivoire.
The home team.
No, but he was winning. He lost.
Côte d'Ivoire.
That's after the AFCON, he went on. And the qualifiers, what happened?
He beat us in the friendly.
He lost. So who cares about the friendly?
I'm just
when he said
after the Nations Cup.
He didn't see. He's in the same. He left. He put Mali. Hold on. He put Mali in the same situation that we have found ourselves, and that's the person we are going to bring to rescue us.
No. But can I ask you a question? Your first statement.
Is Mali in the same situation with Nigeria qualifiers or not?
Yes, they are.
So, and you want to now remove Nigeria from the whatever, but you want to carry the man that put Mali.
So I was going to ask you a question because
a Mali that was leading Ghana and lost to Ghana.
Your opening statement.
A Mali that could not beat Madagascar at home with 10 men.
But I put out some numbers earlier.
Forget the numbers.
We cannot forget the numbers.
You can win a lot of friendly matches and then 2 games.
Okay, we answered your question.
Your first question was, we want to go to the World Cup. I think someone has never been to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I asked you, the last 10 managers, how many of them have been to the World Cup before we employed them?
Okay, so
the last 10 managers.
But were they coaching?
Only one.
No, yeah, but were they coaching in, and you know me very well. Mm-hmm. How many of those managers have I approved of?
You approved of Keshi.
Yeah, Keshi has gone to the World Cup.
And Keshi coached Mali too.
Yeah, Keshi went to the World Cup as a player. Keshi understand what it means to be at the top. You have to. As a player or as a manager, you need to have an understanding of what it means to be in that battle.
Before Ghana Raw took us to the World Cup.
Who is Ghana Raw? Don't talk to me about Ghana Raw. No. You guys know I don't like both of them.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No. Based on this contest, which World Cup did Ghana Raw go before taking us to Russia?
Go and ask NFF.
No, I'm asking you. Based on what you just said.
Because are you listening?
We're trying to
you're not.
We are.
Nigeria should never have employed Genotro.
1.
Or Pesero. 2. So coach Nigeria.
So who should we have employed?
If you can't see.
Who should we have employed?
Who should we have employed?
It doesn't see.
Who should we have employed?
As far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, the only reason I'll forever respect Keshi right? He didn't just qualify; he won it.
Okay.
So if you want to tell me about anything,
Eguavoen, they gave World Cup qualifier to go and qualify.
Didn't he go to the World Cup?
I would rather leave Eguavoen. I would rather leave Eguavoen to do the job. No, Eguavoen has a better coaching record than this man you want to bring.
Okay.
Which
all the numbers that you are throwing out, win percentage. Eguavoen for Nigeria has a 64.3%.
But Eguavoen
was Eguavoen ready to take the job?
No.
Listen,
Eguavoen did not win any away match.
Did any NFF? Are you joking?
I'm joking.
When Nigeria, hold on. Was it one of the foreign managers that I've forgotten the match where in was it Algeria and Zimbabwe? We're in the same group with Algeria and Zimbabwe. And their qualifiers.
It was raw.
And no, it wasn't raw. It wasn't raw before down. The guy child. Don't worry. He's not whatever. Okay. One of the first stints Eguavoen had as a manager of the national team. We were in trouble. We were in trouble. And what Eguavoen did was he took over the job. We went to Algeria, got a result. Algeria that almost beat us.
They didn't qualify for the World Cup.
In Port Harcourt. Listen, do you know why Eguavoen was sacked?
He lost to Ghana.
He lost a friendly game to Ghana.
At least I was old enough to remember that.
He was able to revive, but he was able to revive our qualifiers and whatever it is we're fighting for them to qualify.
So who says Eric Chelle cannot revive the qualifiers?
So I'm praying that he succeeds. But what I'm telling you is that the foundation is already ready.
I'm surprised that Joseph Faulkner is making excuses for Eguavoen. He comfortably failed. However, he failed.
How?
They gave him 2 games to beat Ghana. Ghana had a terrible Nations Cup. Okay. And let's not forget, he also had a bad Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're making excuses. Okay, you know what, let that go. You had 2 games against Ghana who were horrible, who went to go and call 2 people together and say, you know what, manage this team. Okay. And you couldn't beat them.
Okay. And you employed a Chelle that lost to the same person that lost to Madagascar.
2006 said how we're in a bad state, we're in a manageable state. What did he do with the team? That team has some of our best strikers. Some of our best strikers. If you call the top 3 best strikers in Super Eagles
back then,
you mentioned at least 2 or 1 of those names in that era. What did we win at AFCON when he went there? You now mentioned that Pacero, who got us to the final, wasn't good enough. You mentioned that Raw, who got us to the semi-final, wasn't good enough. But Eguavoen is good enough for still losing to Ghana in small Craven Cottage. Craven Cottage.
You are putting words that I did not say. Listen,
no, I
never said Eguavoen is good enough. I'm telling you that I would rather leave Eguavoen in charge than employ Chelle.
No, I'll bring Chelle before I give Eguavoen.
That's why. That's why
you did not win any away game.
Maybe that's why.
Somebody that don't win away game in qualifiers. Away game in qualifiers.
Which qualifiers?
This last AFCON qualifiers. He did not win one single away game.
Okay.
The 3 points they gave in Rotimi against Libya. Dash. He didn't win them on the field of play now.
Is it his fault that Libya were
it's not his fault. But I'm saying that you cannot use your chest and say this point I took it.
But the point remains that Eguavoen came, right, and won matches and qualified us for the AFCON.
That's not a new thing. Every coach has qualified us for the AFCON.
That's fine. You are using Ghana as an excuse. Chelle lost to Ghana, lost to Madagascar, 10-man Madagascar. But you think it's okay to bring him just because he has a foreign name over.
Chelle is not.
I will even employ. I'll put Efinidi back in the job.
I don't think that's.
I'll put Efinidi.
I don't think that's a fair assessment.
It is.
If you say because he has a foreign name.
So what exactly is the reason?
What's
a coach? Oh,
so because he's a coach.
Yes.
He applied for a job.
MC Oran is the coach of MC Oran. How many games has he won?
They're paying him well.
How many?
He just got the job. October
he has played how many games?
He only 7 games.
He has lost 5.
He's lost 4. He's won 2.
Okay. Trust the process.
So
trust the process.
Winning 2 in 7 is good enough.
In the last 2 months.
Yes, trust the process.
I don't care.
You just told us here now. No.
Has he done well in the MC Oran job now? If he's leaving now,
Faulkner just told us now.
He's not been there enough. He's not been there long enough.
Amorim will come good for Man United.
You just said
yes. Amorim will come good for Manchester United. You know
because you've seen these games.
Did you watch?
Are you joking?
Because you've seen Amorim's games. You've not seen anything from Chelsea.
You didn't go to watch MC Oran.
Listen,
guys.
Listen.
And you know, surprised by what this
because I've seen MC Oran. This guy Chelle cannot do jack with a national team.
He can do it. It's not possible.
On this, so we would agree with you.
No, of course we cannot.
So you can't tell us he won't do anything with the national team.
I've asked a simple question. Simple question.
Yeah.
You want to employ a shoemaker, right? And you want to carry somebody who knows how to wear shoe because he can wear shoe. But
he will know how the shoe. He will know how the shoe feeling. He will know the feeling of the shoe.
Somebody who knows.
Let me ask you, Faulkner. Before we leave the thing, we spend time on this. And it's even
like I said at the beginning. I pray he succeeds because of.
Are you sure you are praying he succeeds?
Am I not a Nigerian?
Does
it mean that what we have done is right? So you think
what have we done wrong?
Hold on. So you think employing because we've employed somebody who is not qualified, I'll pray for Nigeria to
How
fail.
can you say he's not qualified?
But he's not qualified to coach Nigeria.
Was West Ham qualified?
He's not good enough.
When West Ham came?
You know when West Ham came?
Was he qualified?
It was not for tournament.
Oh,
West Ham, no, listen. And let me explain.
What was it for?
West Ham came, and that's the problem. You know, this one came to qualify us for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you know that. If he doesn't qualify, he's leaving.
It's simple, yeah.
West Ham came with a developmental plan. It didn't come to qualify us immediately. That was why when we didn't qualify, did West Ham continue in the job or not? How many times did West Ham try before we went to the World Cup?
It took a while.
How many times did he attempt
He came in
winning the
1990
AFCON?
now.
He came in 89, not in 1990.
89.
He was the one in charge of the
Then
qualifiers. We lost out in the qualifiers. But you know what? They left him in the job.
And it took us to
All
Senegal
just 90.
92.
All just 90.
All just
was not
90.
his team.
Yeah.
We
Senegal
didn't win the
92.
AFCON. They left him. Senegal 92, we didn't win.
Yeah.
They left him. But 1994, we won.
That's what
And then qualified.
So
for the
listen,
World Cup.
that's what I'm saying.
Give Eric
Number
a
one,
chance.
what we have done, you have brought somebody,
Not
Who is
Eric
the
Ten
coach?
Hag.
you have brought a man who does not have the experience of going to the World Cup before, who you have now put under pressure that this team must qualify. Somebody that left the country that he was coaching. In the same situation. If you have brought Chelle and said, okay, you know what? You are young. You have new ideas. Let's build something in the next 4 years. I will not fight anybody. But bringing him and telling him, and say, no, the length is 6. Listen, I'm telling you for a fact, not guesswork. If we don't qualify for the World Cup, he's gone. That's the reason they brought him. I'm not thinking, I'm telling you.
That's right.
That's why they brought him. That's why they brought him.
So,
and wrote him in nose. So he's acting like
you can't say I know. I'm only telling you.
Do you or do you not
there's
know
nothing
that
official
if he doesn't
yet.
qualify?
There's nothing official yet. We know that if it doesn't qualify,
What do you know? How do
any
you know?
coach that does not qualify,
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm saying
We
that
didn't qualify for some World Cups and the managers were left.
we don't know the details.
Get up with
West
the
Ham.
World Cup.
West Ham.
They're not qualified for the World Cup.
Okay.
They're not.
West Ham did
They're
not
not
qualify for the World
qualified.
Cup.
But
He was left.
we
in there.
already said about West
So
Ham.
listen, the point remains that this
Yes.
man has been brought for these World Cup qualifiers, right? That's why we're in a hurry to make sure. Oh, we've said something in January or whatever. Let us stop thinking about competitions and start thinking development.
Okay.
That is my bottom line.
Right.
If you have brought Chelle and said, I give you 4 years, let's discover that, because why are you bringing him and telling him to take over the Chan team as well?
So he also watched the MPFL, something that you always clamor
dirty
for.
MPFL.
Something you always
The
clamor
MPFL is
for.
now dirty.
No, to him it's dirty because he doesn't know jack
Something
about the
you do.
MPFL. For a competition that is starting in
MC Oran normally is not supposed. They plan not to go on.
So how many Nigerian players is he taking from MC Oran to Chan?
Nothing, none.
So
And
how many players does he know in the
it's to
MPFL?
start.
For a competition that is in how many weeks?
It doesn't
February
matter.
1st. Starts
It doesn't
February 1st.
matter. It's his football ideas.
Football ideas. So how will he pick his team?
Bottom line, guys.
That's why he has assistants now.
Which assistants?
Daniel
will still work with
Between
him.
bringing
Fidelis and Daniel and Fidelis will still work with him.
Figureheads.
He can't
But
be
you guys,
He cannot be figureheads. We are not in the NFF. I'm sure they've
so you are not in the NFF. If you want to play the ostrich, I know how things have been running in the NFF.
It's not possible.
And I'm
If
telling
he's
you,
been running like that
it's
in
going to be
20.
the same thing. Christian
42.
Chukwu.
He cannot run
The same
now.
thing. Christian Chukwu was assistant to Igbo man for a long time, and then the Igbo man
It's
left.
not about the
We look
Igbo
for
man.
another Igbo man.
Anyway, bottom line.
Figureheads.
He hasn't given too many parables.
Figureheads.
It's-
No, let's be
old
watching.
age.
Shebi we're here.
Old age.
Shebi we're here.
Like I said, he's gotten the job. Our first qualifiers resume in March.
Yep.
We can win Rwanda away from him, can't we?
Yeah, sure.
We can beat Zimbabwe at home.
Mm-hmm.
So
6 point guaranteed.
let's wait.
Why
Let's
didn't
wait.
Why didn't you lead
Yes,
the Genius
we
managers?
can.
Let's wait.
Why
Let's
didn't you
wait.
lead the
Hopefully, all our players stay fit. Hopefully, all of our players get to understand the new man, and then let's just watch. You see? Hopefully, yeah. I know we've. Is it okay for him to take charge of chanting? That's another discussion. But you know what? We'll just leave it there.
Because you guys,
We'll just leave it
you
here.
know what pains me is the fact that you know the truth, but you never hide it. The man is coming. You are giving him chance. Let him focus on the World Cup at least first.
Chan are also
Because-
by good players. Let him do his work.
No,
6
leave the people working. Leave them alone. That's the disrespect to them. How much are you paying? How much are you paying Ogumodede and Ilechukwu? Were you paying them up to $5,000?
Faulkner.
For Chan.
Were we paying them? Yeah, for the job they've done.
What did they do?
Were we? Are you joking?
I'm only asking.
They qualified for Chan.
2 games.
It doesn't matter. How many games is this man coming to coach?
At least 3 games.
For the World Cup. For the World Cup qualifier.
No,
How many games? Is he playing 6 games?
No, I'm saying for Chan, 3 games.
I'm talking.
He's playing.
He's going to play more than. He's
playing 6 games.
He's playing about 6 games.
No,
for
2. It's about 8 games, F.
Because he's playing
now.
He's playing Rwanda.
He's playing Zimbabwe.
He's playing South Africa.
That will be later in the year.
Yes. Then he still has Benin. That's already 4. Then I think he has a return leg against Rwanda. That's 5.
I'm telling you people now
that. Are you speaking on behalf of the NFF now?
The disrespect. I'm not Amaju Pinnick. I don't do such. The disrespect.
The last time I checked,
the disrespect that we met out. So these guys at home is the reason a lot of them are the way they are. And the same thing happens to the players on the pitch. They know that no matter how much they try, we're still going to bring those foreign-based players. So every opportunity, Albania, Libya, whatever, they take it.
That's
the disrespect.
I haven't seen it as a disrespect. But like I said, let's wait
Answer the
to see the Football Federation.
More than $5,000.
Let's see the Football
Where
Federation come out.
More than $5,000. No, they weren't.
Maybe we should ask him.
No, they weren't.
Maybe we should ask him.
But I'm telling you, they weren't.
Maybe we should ask him.
I'm telling you, they were not.
Okay.
How much are they paying?
But you know.
Oh, you know?
But you know.
You know, Femi?
You know.
I don't know.
Femi, you know. Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's time to go.
Let's leave it exactly.
It's time to go on a break. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere. You're still watching Sports Hub on NigezieXtreme.
Which it was by Malcolm Brogdon. How did
From the line, good reaction time for George Russell.
Alrighty, welcome back. Still Sports Hub on NigezieXtreme. And this time around, we're going straight to tennis. The first Grand Slam of the year is just upon us. Okay? Down under. Down under. A story about a certain man who says he's still having some traumatic experience about how he was deported during COVID, blah, 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 blah. But hey, the story about the man is, can he go on to win this particular Grand Slam? Or are there some other big boys coming up, upcoming boys, I could stop him? Falkland Premier will be attempting to give us their favorites. I'll probably predict mine as well.
So interesting thing is, there's a lot riding on this particular Australian Open. And I put down quite a number of things. Of course, Jannik Sinner, world number 1 for men, and Marina Sabalenka, world number 1 for women. Two of them, they had fantastic 2024.
Yeah.
They're defending champions at the Australian Open. They'll be looking to do that. Sabalenka, on her part, will be looking to make it, I think, 3 straight. 3 straight Australian Open titles, you know. So Sinner will make it 2. But then Australian fans will be hoping that Kyrgios will have a say in whatever happens in Yes, I know. I'm he's not one of my top 3 to win the title, but
he's even just coming back from
it's just like hosting a competition in Nigeria and thinking Nigeria will not tabiobio in some ways, you know. Is that
what's tabiobio?
Don't worry. Check the caption. Carlos Alcaraz, there is a record in front of him that if he wins the Australian Open, he's going to break. Now, what's his name? Rafael Nadal is the youngest man to do all 4 slams, you know, at once, and he's the youngest guy to do it. If Alcaraz, for any reason, wins the Australian Open, will become the youngest to do it, to do a career Grand Slam. So that's a motivation on its own for him. So that's why I said a lot is riding on this. A lot is riding, you know, on this one. So Sinner wants to make it back to back. Sabalenka wants to make it.
How about the man himself?
You know, a hat trick. Well, we'll get there. Alcaraz wants to become the youngest career slam. You know, and then of course, for the women, the number 1 sport ranking, the number 1 tennis ranking will likely change. If Sabalenka doesn't win it, will likely.
If Swiatek wins it, she
probably becomes world number 1. Now, the big one, Everybody want. I want. So I'm not a big Djokovic fan, but I appreciate what he's done in the sports.
His longevity.
His
rivalry.
He came, you know, that Nadal Federer rivalry. He came and broke it. Like, what's wrong with Liverpool? You can't just keep taking the channel, you know. And he could win his 25th Grand Slam title, out and out, the number one in the world. He could win his 11th Australian Open. You know, no other person has won on that surface. That, you know, so a lot is riding on the Australian Open. I'm hoping that Djokovic will win it
to make a good story.
A good story.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm hoping that just maybe he doesn't win his 25th now. He wins in the next one, and Alcaraz wins and becomes the youngest tennis player to hold a career career slam. Djokovic, for the first time, by the way, 2024 was the first time he didn't win a Grand Slam since 2007.
But he won what he has never won before.
The Olympics. He won the Olympics. Yeah. He's never won the Olympics before. He won it last year. But then that 25th Grand Slam. I was so sure he was going to get it.
I thought he was going to get one.
Injuries, you know, and then some of these youngsters just didn't have respect.
I like the competition he's mentioned. Sinner, Alcaraz. If you throw in the other pretenders,
Medvedev,
Okaz, or even if you throw Zverev, all of them, they're in there. They've got that. There are people that there's this level of competition. It's not because they're pretenders, but because you know that once you get one tournament that you just wake up and it's the one that you play the most.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned about Sinner, I think Sinner had a lot of controversies in 2024. Too many controversies.
And still went on to win,
right? And that's why everyone is looking at him like, you know what, this year we're going to be ready for it.
But is it fair that after the doping issues and the international pardoning him, and then WADA is still fighting it? They're still fighting.
Well, WADA are not the cleanest organizations themselves. They have issues with USADA, right? And the story was out all through this week. But I'm not going to look at all the time. I'm just going to enjoy the tennis. And remember, Djokovic now has a new coach added to his team, Andy Murray.
I don't think anything will come from that union. It's just a feel good.
It's a feel good because I've been hearing a lot of British tabloid rival. I'm like, guys, they're not rivals. Rival is when me and you they go head to head with the drag something. It's like saying Serena and Sharapova are rivals. They're only rivals on the money-making part. When it gets to the tennis court itself, they were not rivals. Because one person was beating the other one. Silly. So that's how you call me rivals.
They were never rivals.
So when they use the word rival, I'm like, that's an insult to Djokovic. Because if you use the word Nadal as rival, I agree. I agree.
Murray's rival.
No.
Or Djokovic.
No. I agree. I was okay. Those guys, they dragged it for years. But not the one that you'll be telling me. But anyway, he will be there. I actually like the women's scene. Now, not because he's mentioned Sabalenka, who has been very good, or Swiatek, who's also wanting to claim back that number one position. But the guys behind those people, the likes of Coco Gauff you've mentioned, the likes of, what's her name is back.
I'm waiting for one name in particular.
Osaka.
No, there's a Barbara Krejcikova in there.
I don't. This girl is going.
He won the Grand Slam title. She won the Grand Slam title then. Zen really won. That's national your girl. Can you imagine?
The reason why I mentioned.
I wasn't even going to mention
my girl.
What's that?
The reason why I mentioned Osaka is there was a year when Osaka would be one of the favorites for this other tournament. Now this year she's having a lot of problems: injury crisis, consistency. And then she broke up with her partner.
The injury is the big one.
Not the breakup.
And I think, not the breakup, the injuries.
But she's not born for this person.
It doesn't matter. So I think for the sport itself, it's easy to use the sport as an escape. Bury yourself in it. But then when you keep having all these niggling injuries here and there, they slow you down. Because sometimes they even make you second guess yourself on the court. And that's one of the things that someone like Novak will also have to deal with. Because one of the things Andy Murray is telling him from their practice sessions and whatever is, come, enjoy yourself.
Not the spring chicken
no, not even that. Express yourself. Stop worrying about if I go for this ball, I will, express yourself. That was what got you to the top. You expressed yourself. You were always, very athletic. You covered the width of the court. So express yourself, and that's what Andy Murray said. That's the only thing he's trying to get him back to the place where he's not thinking about anything else. He's not thinking about how good the opponent is. He's not thinking about his own body, but he's thinking about tennis in the pure form, in the beautiful form that got him to the very best. So, talking about Osaka, the injuries, that's one thing that, because once you start having some kind of injuries, and once some are reoccurring injuries, they mess with your head.
Yes.
Psychologically, they mess with your head. You start thinking, what if I go and I pull something again?
Yeah, so let me just let this point go. I'll get it in the next one. Raducanu also has the same problem.
Yeah, she's not able to pick herself up. Anyway, just before we leave the Australian Open, guys, let me throw it at you. Who wins the Australian Open for you?
Djokovic, Sabalenka.
You want alternatives?
I'd love Swiatek, but I think Sabalenka, I don't know, she just has a great story.
Djokovic wins it for you, Sabalenka wins it for you. How about you, Falcon?
This is tough.
Very tough.
I think the defending champions will win it. Sinner and Sabalenka. I think so. Sinner ended the season on a high.
Yeah,
you know, he had a good season, and it looks like he has started well again.
Yes, he
definitely.
Has.
Yes,
he has.
Yes, so that's why I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, who is going to stop him? Definitely not Djokovic. Not Djokovic, but I will go for the defending champions
to defend the title.
Yeah, to defend the title.
So I think Alcaraz for me will be a good story for me as well.
Yeah, that will be a good story.
And then I think we're going to see a surprise in the women's half.
Those ones have never been
consistent. A new winner. I don't think Sabalenka will win.
That'll be good.
Anyway, just before, let's move on away from the Australian Open. Still staying somewhere down on that. I don't know if they're very close if you check the maps. But from Australia to Saudi Arabia, earlier in the week, that's what I'm saying.
What are you checking?
Asking? Let me ask.
Geography school.
But the only way you can confirm is they're both Asian and football. If it's football, you're going to they're both Asian continents.
Anyway,
that's why I joined them together.
Yes.
I've heard you. Anyway, let's talk the Super Cup. So the Super Cups in quote now.
That's the Italian
Super Cup and the Spanish Super Cup. The Italian has happened.
It was done and dusted.
The Spanish one is still currently ongoing. But there's an excitement about the Italian Cup. We saw the Milan derby, just like we're going to see the El Clasico in the Spanish version. And it was AC Milan who won it against the run of play.
You know, both of them had big
Was
wins.
it against the run of play?
It was.
Against predictions, form, not run of play. They totally deserved the win.
They came back from 2 goals down.
It wasn't against the run of play. They dominated. Once they started scoring, Femi. When they started scoring, they were dominating. They were pushing, they were pressing. It wasn't against the run of play.
Both of them had beaten top teams in the previous round. So Atalanta for Inter and then Juventus. And I thought Inter were going into this final as the favourites. And obviously the goals automatically showed.
There's no thinking in that. They were.
Yes, and the goals showed. Now, the fight back was what the character AC Milan showed was the major part. Because remember, AC Milan just got a new manager 8 days before that. Sergio Francesca. So it could be, or it could also be.
It's changed them in some ways.
Yeah, or it could also be a turning point. Because one player who's been well maligned this season, and for just reasons, is Rafael Leao. Now, the fact that Leao's form has start, stop. But the 3 goals they scored had hand in all 3. Even the free kick, he was the one who won the free kick. The winning goal, he was the one who got the ball into the box. So it just tells you that if a manager brings him close, robs it, and there's one new story going around. Rashford has started following him.
One other part of the feel-good part of this whole story, you talked about Rafael Leao. Now, something happened when they played Inter in the league. And Tammy Abraham was taken out and he was angry, he didn't score, blah, blah, blah. And he told him, don't worry, there'll be a next time.
Yes.
Rafael Leao gave him the assist.
That's the
for the tapping.
The
ball into the box. The ball into the box. So it's the new manager is doing something right. Hopefully he can sustain whatever he has started with them, because they look like a different animal. But something that you people did not notice, and don't laugh at me for this. You know how influential Ibrahimovic is. You know he was at the stadium. When they went 2 goals down, they showed his face, he looked at the players. All of them looked up from the pitch. They knew he would beat the hell out of all of them. And they fought back. Did you see his speech in the dressing room after
I listened to the interview he granted the media afterwards, and he says Concesa is the perfect manager. That unlike Francesca, who had the carrots and he held the stick. He still brought himself inside.
He has to.
That this one has both the carrot and the stick.
No,
so
but
at least it's won something.
Yeah, but it was good for
it was good for the morale.
Very good for AC Milan.
Good for AC Milan. They've had a tough season.
A torrid time, and this was just a big sigh of relief. Anyway, let's go for another quick break. Yeah, another quick break. When we come back, we will be hitting the last leg of the show. Femi's favorite part.
But we're definitely not letting him do this part.
No, it's just his favorite part.
We're not. What he did to us last week, we have not recovered.
So let's go for that break. We'll be right back.
Even which it was by Malcolm Brogdon. How did
From the line, good reaction time from George Russell.
So, in the words of the prop, the season campaigner is here and is doing the magic already. 2 games in, 2 goals score. Joseph Atulewa is in form. Brown Ide is scoring goals for fun. Can Enyimba repeat the same feat they did against that team, Bulls, against Al Masry this weekend? Well, it's time to predict. It's time to look at the weekend and talk about what will likely happen. And we've got very interesting games. And we're going to start as usual from the home front. We're going to be talking about Enyimba, who are trying to revive their CAF Confederations Cup campaign. Brown Ide, who has been in fine form, has said to every Enyimba fan around the world, may happen to be one of them, he said it is not over just yet. And we saw the performance during the week against Nasarawa United. We saw them in the CAF Confederations Cup.
My chi is moving. My chi is moving.
Femi, Enyimba,
my chi.
Al Masry.
Chi, what do you have to say to me? Enyimba win.
Is that all your chi has to say?
Yes, that's all he has to say.
Rotimi.
Enyimba win. They have to win. They are condemned to win.
I think Enyimba will win.
The season campaigner, Stanley Guma, for who he is.
So I think, and one of the Al Masry have not been in good form since that victory over Enyimba. They've only won 1 game in about, I think, 6 games or 7 games.
So
the only game they've won since then was the next game against Pyramids in the league, and then every other one they've drawn 4 or 5 and lost 2. Right? Enyimba were on a run of about 8 games without a win. Without a win that time. They lost 2, they drew 6 in all competitions, and the manager had to go. But since
the season
campaigner came, they found a new way of playing. Joseph, is playing well. Brown and Atule is playing well. That's somebody else. Atule, I beg your pardon. But they're playing very well, and that's why I think
I like what Brown brings in the dressing room. Those videos he brings, those clips we've seen, and those are some of the things that we need to see once in a while about our MPFL players. What he said was genuine. It was from the heart. It wasn't being proud.
It's not motivating.
If you don't want to play, it's easy.
Tell the manager.
They will remove you. Bring somebody else that want to play, and let's get the job done. And that's what they did. So I'm very excited.
I think Enyimba will win.
So all three of
us agree that Enyimba will win this one.
Right.
The next game has to be the Spanish Super Cup. Right, we saw the jamboree in it's been a lot of excitement in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people are not like Saudi and how much they're spending.
The football fans there are loving
we love what we've seen in Saudi. But guys, Femi, I'm starting with you on this one.
Wow.
Now, Ancelotti has said
who is the home team?
It's Ancelotti.
Who is the home team?
They are playing on neutral ground.
Who the name they write first? Barcelona or Real Madrid.
It depends on where you're looking at it from. It depends on where you're looking at it
from. If you mislead me, it will mislead the prediction.
Ancelotti has said that this tie is a very tricky one.
Very tricky.
It always swings whichever way. So Femi, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Real Madrid.
To win.
Yeah, Real to win.
So I know Barcelona had that luck of adding Daddy Olmo and Pau Victor, temporary basis to play. So they will definitely feature. I think it's going to be a tough game. But I want a Madrid win, so I'll go for Madrid.
We know you want a Madrid win.
Of course.
But I'm going to differ from you guys. And the reason is because there can't be a draw.
I know that.
So the period where Barcelona dipped briefly, Yamal was not around. He was back for the semi-finals and they won and he had a big hand in 2 goals. So I'm predicting a Barcelona victory. Barcelona to win the Spanish Super Cup.
No problem.
4-4 again this weekend.
We'll see how it goes.
All right. In the
last time you won 4-4. It was me who gave you the.
You did not give me anything.
I took that part.
Your chi was fake.
Okay.
Good. Let's go to the Netherlands. Feyenoord and Utrecht. 4th, Holland. It's Netherlands.
Yeah, that's the Netherlands.
Okay, Holland.
We're going to Holland. K.
Yeah.
Anyone you want to use K.
Eredivisie.
K.
Dutch Eredivisie.
K.
That used to have Michael Biku.
Well, you people know that. You
know who Michael Biku is?
Yes.
You know
him.
He's
a footballer.
Yes.
Because you people know that. My chi has not been consulted on
Feyenoord Utrecht.
On the Dutch Eredivisie.
I think Feyenoord will win at home.
You think Feyenoord will win at home?
I do think so.
The last 5, Feyenoord has beaten them anyhow mercilessly. So I think it's going to continue.
Even though they have a new striker.
Yes, the homeboy is back, but he's not going to start. Sebastian Haller is back inside. He's not going to start. He didn't have a good time at Leganes. And that's why they've taken him back because it was his former home. But I think Feyenoord will continue their winning run against Utrecht. But the final one,
I don't know why you added this one.
FA Cup. It will sway you. FA Cup.
FA Cup.
Arsenal versus Manchester United.
Man to win.
United win.
No, but there's draw now.
No,
replay, right?
There's draw. There will be a replay.
Are we likely to see a replay?
So draw
for me. Draw. Play it safe.
I think Arsenal will win.
No, I thought you said Man U will win.
I'm thinking. Okay, depends on who. Okay, Arteta is distracted. He doesn't really want the FA Cup. He wants the league. United will go for anything now. I think United will win.
United will win. I think Arsenal will win.
No problem.
And the reason is simple. The last time Manchester United beat Arsenal since 2022 was in a preseason friendly. The last 4 games, Arsenal have beaten Man U.
Okay. So who told you they'll make it 5?
So they found 5 in a row. They found a way. They enjoy playing against Man U.
No problem.
I think Man U, they will come into this side with a lot of confidence from what happened, against Liverpool.
Can I just ask a question? Do you remember when was the last time Man United scored 2 at Anfield?
Exactly. That's Anfield.
So just go back to your
Amorim is at the wheel.
It's okay. Well, that's it. I'm predicting an Arsenal victory for that one. So, guys, you know what to do. The 4-4 man, put your money where I just told you. Well,
one off.
If it's easy, try it.
If it's easy, try it. You know what to do as well. Just go on our social media platforms and drop your predictions. We would love to read from you on the YouTube. Yeah, drop in your comments on Instagram. Of course, across all our platforms, our personal handles and NigezieXtreme. We'd love to hear from you. It should be fun.
And we'll do something.
Yeah.
To me. Go on YouTube, put your comments there. Next week, we'll take 1 or 2 comments from YouTube.
And read on the show. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So that should be an interesting one. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all our guys that made this happen. Thank you, Joseph Faulkner, for coming through. Thank you, Femi Faraway, as well. 4-4 once now. It's now 4-4 as if it's number.
3-4-4. 3-4-4.
No, this is 3-4-3.
All the best to Eric.
Before you go, you know the video of that small boy that scored a goal that was down trying to do something.
That's what it was today. All the best to the new Super Eagles coach, Eric Chelle. My name is Rotimi.
Eric Chelle.
Have for yourselves a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.